off to the shops to get us some warm clothes because the girls have been freezing the past few days. It's been down to bitterly cold 1 degree. 1 degree or so, and our Queensland summer tights are not cutting it anymore. So I'm going to get some warm clothes.
And Ziah's also wearing socks on her hands as gloves.
We have successfully found clothes for the girls. We have been gone about 4 hours. It takes a long time when you're walking, and the girls are doing this for most of the way there and back. We also stopped in the grocery store, got everything we needed, and now we are making our way back home.
And to throw in there, expeditions to the Arctic are easier for parents than going shopping with kids.
Whoa. Where did you get that from?
From the bakery.
Happy New Year! The girls are playing, we've got a beautiful sunset.
I think that was a record for hang time.
I bet you're all ready for an update on how the boat went on the haul out and how our survey report went. We're currently down at the beach taking the boys for their afternoon walk. Let's go chat to Steve and see what he has to tell us about how the report came back.
Alright, just gotta do this one person at a time because we're down the water and there's cats down here and the dog's trying to have a run around, so it's one person on watch and one person who can chat. But anyway, so yeah, we got the report back. It came back really good, so there was nothing, no structural damage, nothing of any red flags, anything that we were thinking about pulling out from. There was a couple of items that we weren't expecting. For example, like the engine hours that were displayed weren't correct. The meter was broken earlier and fixed, which was all recorded, but they just didn't let us know about. So yeah, just that, and basically everything else was just cosmetic issues that we already knew about, and they already said that they were going to fix before we went into the haul out process. We didn't get the survey report until after Christmas, so then we were trying to negotiate and talk to the broker and the seller over that Christmas period, which, I mean, we were pretty rapt that they were still chatting to us over that time because we thought we weren't going to hear back for a couple of our weeks. So that was great to get that sort of stuff underway when everyone was on holidays, basically. So over that negotiating period, what goes on is you basically work out and agree between us, the buyers, and the sellers as to what they are going to fix and what's not going to be getting fixed as part of the buying price. That's when things started to go a little bit south for us, was that all the things they agreed to fix before the haul out process, they then basically said after this point, when we got all the report and everything done, that they wouldn't fix it now. Honestly, we were willing to pull out of the contract because all these cosmetic things, the price of to get it fixed just all stacks up. We basically told the broker that, oh, here's our bank details, transfer the deposit money back to us that we were already paid. And I think that's when they knew that we were serious about sticking to what we all I agreed to. So the other cosmetic things, I'm just going to have a little sit down here, was The Bimini and the Dodger were all pretty shattered and ragtagged up from charter season, and we didn't get a chance to have a look at them because the boat was in winterization.
I need to interrupt because Jack really wants Steve to throw the stick.
Well, you can't sit down anyway. So there's just, like, things that we couldn't see because the boat was in winterization. When we had a couple of inspections of it, which they said everything was in really good condition, and then when we actually got to have a look at it during sea trial, it was just ripped and stuff. So that was another piece that we were negotiating on a price with, whether they were going to put a new one on or take some money off for it. And yeah, just that going back and forth for nearly 2 weeks was really emotionally taxing, because we were going to pull out and then we weren't, because they said they're going to agree to fix a few things, and yeah, that's a bit of a roller coaster. Come through that, and they've agreed to fix everything themselves, and a couple of things that they can't really fix is giving us some money off of the sale price.
Good news is we have a boat.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Mum, you know we sometimes get rocks in our gumboots? But today we're getting rocks in our gumboots a lot.
Are you?
We've got rocks in our gumboots this Mum, do you know what this beach is called?
What's it called?
Glamorous, relaxing, play, beach.
Wow.
I read the sign. It has a sign.
Does it?
And it only says kids with their adults and dogs are allowed. So that means dogs are allowed, humans are allowed, kids are allowed, and grown-ups are allowed.
Right. What was the last thing that we needed to get before we could make your cake?
Blue food colouring in.
And how many stores did we go to get the blue food colouring? 6. What are we able to make now?
A double swimming pool.
Alright girls, what are we doing?
Making my cake for my birthday tomorrow.
And how old are you turning?
5.
Alright, and what are we baking? What sort of cake?
The swimming pool cake. Do it, do it, do it.
One of the little constraints we keep having in Croatia trying to do the Australian Cookbook birthday cake edition, that's the karate belts that we had to get for the flag, and the only way to get the karate belts is in a kilo box. And how much are we using out of this? 2 strips. We're going to be eating karate belts for about 6 months.
Oh my God. Whoa.
Who's the birthday girl?
Me.
Who
Ziah.
had their face painted?
Me. And then me.
And what are your face paints of?
A koala. Rainbow. Koala with the rainbow and leaves.
Woohoo! Happy birthday to you.
Hip hooray.
Yay!
We're back on board this morning. We've got a big list of things to do before we can get this from a charter boat, stock standard, to a liveaboard cruiser. So, Steve, will you tell us how we're going to do that?
Alright, so there's only probably a few main things you've got to do. So we've got to be able to make water, so we need a water maker on board. We need good shade that's sturdy. At the moment, the biminies on board charter boats, they're only sort of made up to about 20 knots, and as soon as it blows that hard, you got to pack them down. So that's something that we can't do. So yeah, we're just getting a better one made up that can also support solar. So we need a fairly big solar array to generate the amount of power that we're going to be using, because we're aiming not to have a generator, which family of 4, full-time living, is a bit of a challenge, but yeah, that's what we're trying to go for.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
Energy smart, that's the way we've got to do it. But yeah, part of that's also batteries. So battery storage, we get good battery storage, we've got to change over to lithium batteries, which is a massive thing. It's a big expense, but it's basically the only way to get away from a generator. So yeah, we're pretty pumped to be able to be living off-grid 100%. And that's basically the cruising life that we want to do, just not relying on generators or marinas or anything else other than ourselves.
Yeah, I was going to say the pulling into the marina part will be great if we don't have to do that so often, because at the moment the tanks as they are, we kind of have to pull in every week, whereas if we have a water maker on board, we just don't need to come in.
And the dogs bark all the time, so being at a marina, everyone hates us.
Yeah. So girls, how do you feel about being on the boat today?
Excited!
Excited? What about you, Waves?
Excited!
And
Double excited!
whoa.
Double excited! Ow, boat! Ow, boat! Ow, boat!
Just met up with a stainless steel fabricator to have a look at sort of upgrading our current bimini that you can see behind me all folded up, which is just the shade for the cockpit area. I'm 6 foot and I can't fit underneath it. I'm ducking the whole time. So pretty annoying. Looking at getting that done and some back davits for the tender, so the tender can sit on board. I'll show you what one of those looks like in a sec.
To give you a bit of perspective, this is where our tender currently sits. So on our foredeck.
It's exciting to be at this stage, getting pretty close to stepping on board in 2 weeks. We'll be living on board at the marina, and I know, yeah, maybe 3 or 4 weeks and we'll be heading off and starting sailing.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Just got to get these few little pieces done. So yeah, that's the plan anyway.